1982 RCA color track model FGR478. I don't have the CTC number yet. We'll have that when I get it apart. Anyway, we're going to just do a quick analysis on this and see what it's going to take to repair it. I'm going to re-release the Sony 1964 Sony Little Red, a condensed, like a radio edit version of that video from last week. Last week had a bunch of stuff on thermal cameras, whatever, so we're gonna re-release a condensed version of that. I think that was one of the better videos of the year, so if you didn't catch it, that would be a good condensed version to catch. So 1982 RCA color track, wood grain, plastic TV. Supposed to be dead. Ooh, channel lock remote. Let's plug it in and see what it does. Okay, well on standby it's drawing 9.3 watts, which could just be the remote receiver. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it came on. I think this switch is worn out. I think maybe the CRT is worn out too. Color brightness. Some of these will mute the video. I mean, because I can barely see it there. The volume does not seem to work. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, the switches are just worn out. They seem to be waking up though. Yeah, the power switch is done. Put a generator on it and see what it looks like. I got it hooked up to the VG91 here. It looks okay. Looks very good. Yeah, it's blanking, but it looks good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong here. Just the switches are worn out. It would work fine with a remote. Yeah, these switches are worn out. I believe you can still order those. I need to take them apart and take them out. Yeah, no problem here. Let's open it and see what it looks like on the inside. It's not going to be much of a video. Well, somebody cleaned it because it certainly looks a lot cleaner than what the wear on the buttons would indicate. "28 kilovolts, huh? Not adjustable. Non-product of printed in USA." So it is a CTC110. CTC110B. And there's the control panel. Maybe I'll pull that down and look at what kind of switches it has. Korea. Here's the tuner assemblies, filter. I mean, we could check some of these capacitors, but from the behavior, I don't think it's a problem. Horizontal output, probably. NTE 238, 1500 volt collector to emitter transistor. Yeah, it looks American made to me. Or partially. Is this one of those ones that has the bonded yoke? To where the yoke is, it doesn't look bonded, but that doesn't mean anything. Some of these had a yoke that was actually bonded and the convergence was done at the factory. Wow, do I dare take this apart? This does not look like it's designed to be serviced. It looks like it's designed to be replaced with all one piece. Just switch out the whole thing. Oh, wow. This is not serviceable. This is, I was thinking of the newer sets that have the little tactile switches that you can replace. You can still order those off DigiKey, the little square ones with the black shaft sticking out of them. This is not serviceable. It's got those little metal clicky membrane thingies under this. I'm not going to screw with this. I'm going to tell the owner to find a remote. Find a remote online for this set. It can't be that hard. It's got an infrared receiver right there. Normal service switch. It's got your screens, your drives. Really? Most of these, by this era, all the grids and screens were all tied together. I guess that's not the case in this tube here. Most of the later sets, all the data was fed in through the cathode only. And that's why they were down to, like 8 pins or something for the whole tube. Anyway, yeah, we'll fire it up and watch some TV. I'm going to tell them to get a remote. That plastic on that thing was breaking up as I was trying to put it back together, so I don't want to touch it. I don't want to break something that's usable. So it just needs a remote. Everything else here, the capacitors, I wouldn't challenge any of these capacitors. Not much to this one. I was expecting something with a horizontal output high voltage issue we could diagnose. Why this is on the UHF is a little bit interesting when it has this. Ooh, cable or normal? We want it on normal. So the 75 ohm input. I wonder what's going on with these shenanigans. Although it looks like it's still a separate tuner. That's sort of interesting. It is. This is the tuner. There's a VHF and that's a UHF. This was actually back still in the days when people would spend money to fix a set. Almost completely unheard of today. Wonder what this refers to. I wonder if this was out of a lodge or something, or a hotel. Someone cared about this at one time. Didn't want you to steal it. And you can see just how worn this is. Yeah, the solution here is a remote. Find a remote for it. Might be able to pull up the schematic and find a part number for the remote and find the remote on eBay, or maybe the DirecTV universal remote has a setting for this. Well, this wasn't much of a video, so maybe we could take a few minutes and go over the converter box thing, because I'm always getting comments, how are you getting TV on that old thing? Well, it's real simple. So yes, over-the-air broadcast now in the United States is digital. But you can still pick it up with the set of rabbit ears, which I'm using right here. Old school rabbit ears. And you don't need to extend them all the way. You want them matched to the frequency you're receiving. And since there's no more low VHF channels, you don't need them extended all the way. I know it has a really nice picture. It's just bright out here, so it's blanking. But, so you go from rabbit ears. No such thing as a digital antenna, no such thing as digital rabbit ears. An antenna is an antenna. This is a color master, engineered for color TV, like color and black and white TV are different. It's just all marketing and hype. You come out of the antenna, and the best is always an antenna on the roof. You know, a log periodic, the horizontally polarized flat TV antenna like you're used to seeing everywhere. You come out of the antenna, whatever antenna you're using, into the DTV converter box. You can probably get these on eBay now, maybe Amazon, and you go into antenna in, and then you have the choice of either composite out or channel 3/4 out. I have it on channel 3, and I'm just going right into the 75 ohm input on the TV.
He must have. But for the life of me, I can't imagine.
So, and you change your channels here. I have a remote for this, and it'll do volume and everything, but you just change your channels on your converter box. Of course, I'm trying to stay away from copyright content.
Olympic gold medalist in the 400 meters.
These things are very slow to respond. A lot of people now are trying to do internet-based stuff like Roku and that, and those it's a little bit more complicated. You have to use a HDMI to composite converter and then use composite to channel 3. You need an RF modulator.
So we'll tell about us next week.
I gotta tell you, Iris, I'm worried.
Why? Oh, honey, we're gonna do this.
It's a frame rate thing.
For me, for you. And video ROM is dying. And every day you wait is going to cost you money.
You know, if I thought...
That's okay, this will get tagged in the copyright instantly.
Brandon Coulter's success continued. Even
See, then you can enjoy this too.
make it easier on me on day 2. And the fish are set up in grass just like they set up on a river ledge or just.
So anyway,
Sometimes all you can do is remind them that you love them. So I wanted to remind Heidi.
I'm a,
And then I felt even better doing all this. Wait a minute. Nobody showed it.
real simple to get modern programming over the air TV on an old TV like this. It's real easy. Nothing to it. You don't need anything expensive or high tech.
Gentlemen.
And again, I don't care if it's doing this because it'll keep it from getting a content ID thing on it. So anyway, 1982 RCA CTC110. Not much of a video here. Like I said, I'm going to repost an edited down version of last week's video on the little red Sony. That was a really cool kind of diagnostic, getting to the bottom of that. Someone else obviously didn't get there, but we did. Next week, December 21st, hopefully everything works out and I can do a couple live streams from out in the remote desert where there's signals are all real low. We'll do some radio unboxings, AM FM radios, and we'll do some DXing, radio repair. We'll just go with it and just see what happens. Just do like several 10-hour live streams, right? Just burn some data.